I would say strategic partnerships are one of our key strategies. I think as we think about rural healthcare specifically, one of the things that's challenging about healthcare is that their healthcare has high fixed costs. It requires large volumes to support the clinical expertise to provide quality programs and sustainable financials. And rural settings, a lot of times we have low population density, and so in many of those areas, hospitals don't meet criteria for being designated a critical access hospital, or those that aren't designated critical access hospital are losing money. And so when we think about the work we do and the geography we cover, we think that the partnerships are critical. And there's a couple kinds of partnerships. So I would say, from one perspective, partnerships with like the main hospital association in terms of bringing other providers together that are challenged with the same kinds of issues, is one kind of partnership. And thinking about how we can tackle some of these issues from a policy perspective. So that's important. Also, joint ventures are important. So, like, for example, we have a joint venture with First Atlantic to provide long-term care, to manage our long-term care centers. And so, one of the things we recognize is that it's helpful to have expertise that's focused on just running long-term care, and post-acute strategies are a critical part of getting patients out of the hospital into the right care setting. And so, we have a joint venture with a third party that manages the long-term care centers in that joint venture. We also, the other set of partnerships that I think are important is that, we want to be able to leverage economies of scale. And so, we've been, over the last couple of years, we've put in place a number of partnerships with organizations such as like Quest, Optum, and then most recently Compass One. So, things like food and environmental services, laboratory, revenue cycle, IT, using vendor partners that provide us the opportunity to bring a lot more scale, lower cost, focusing on ways that we can be the most efficient. And so I think, partnerships show up in many ways, but they're clearly a critical part of, success for us in the future.